Hello everyone, today I'm going to be trying something new and I'm going to be recording the making of an entry on this site called Battle of the Bits. I've never done this before, so let's see how this goes. And if you've never heard of this website before, Battle of the Bits, basically how this works is there is this OHB 1 hour battle, and so I'm going to have 1 hour to make a song based on a prompt that will appear in about a couple minutes here. And there are also some other much larger battles like this one, very rare formats, which started a little while ago and still has a couple weeks to enter. So there's a lot of entries already here. You can listen to them, you can look at them. There's some other formats other than audio, like PDFs and stuff like that. But this is all gear, which means basically you need to render your music to an MP3 file and upload it, and then you're basically done. So I'm going to be using the prompt that they have sent, and I'm going to have to make something based on that in about an hour. Now in this battle, as you can see, late penalties are disabled. Normally, if you submit late, you get a penalty to your score at the end of the battle, which will affect your ranking. But in this case, there's no penalty, so I can submit as late as I want. However, there is a caveat to that. The submission period ends 30 minutes after the regular submission time when it cuts off for being late. So basically, I have 90 minutes instead of 1 hour. Is the best way that I could explain it. I'm not doing a very good job right now of explaining it. I also have the Battle of the Bits Discord open right here so that I can keep track of things. And so we're starting really soon here. I already have FL Studio up and running, and I'm just going to make sure, yep, I have a limiter to not destroy your ears. I'm not going to do anything to it. It's just so that in case things clip, it doesn't actually clip in the recording because I don't want to destroy your ear holes. All right, so we have about 5 seconds here, and once it hits 0, I'm going to refresh. Alright, I'm going to open that in a new tab and let's take a look at this. You've waited for as long as possible, but it doesn't seem like they're going to show up. All signs pointed to this being a fortuitous day, and you may have spent all week looking forward to this coffee shop meeting. How frustrating. But enough's enough, and you've got plenty else to take care of. Agitated, you get up to grab a coffee to go and cut your losses. Just as you're making your way out, the door chime rings clear. A breeze flows in. Could it be? Oh! Alrighty. So what do I want to do for this one? Well, first of all, I'm going to save my project so that I have it. So I want to kind of have like a vibe of a coffee shop and maybe some kind of sentimental or romantic feeling with like the meeting of a long-lost friend or love interest or something like that. I'm not entirely sure where I want to go with this, but I start going here because I'm already running out of time just trying to think about what to do. Let's just go for it. I'm going to start with Dext. I think that would be a good place to start. I think some kind of chords with like an electric piano would be nice. So I'm going to go to Dex cart. Let's go to keyboard, piano, electric piano, whirly. Yeah, actually the fifth one. All right, let's figure out what to do here. So I want some kind of like chill coffee shop vibes. So let's see. I'm not really sure where to go with this. This is such a weird prompt. Maybe I can start with like a field recording. Let's see what I have. Yeah, I think that one's good. Set the tempo. I think that's good. And that's probably a long enough sample. I am going to just take out a little bit. There we go. Just so it sounds like it's kind of behind the walls of a building instead of being right out in the rain. I think that's a little bit better. That's all it needs, really. Okay, next thing. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do with chords here. All right, let's start recording something here. Let's turn on a countdown. I played the wrong thing. Well, nothing a little bit of editing can't fix. I missed a note. I kind of like that. Let's see. I'm going to add some EQ like I did. Let's add a delay. That's weird. Why does it start like this? Oh god. Oh god. Hold on. Alright, so I've recorded in this EP. I have an EQ on here, just like some high pass and some delay, and I have taken already 15 minutes. Okay. Yep, that's what happens. I need to add another thing here. Let's add contact. So I have contact here with Scarby Rickenbacker bass, and I'm gonna just call it bass. And yes, I use a lot of copy and paste, so I'm gonna be doing that. That's my secret, copy and paste. And just make little changes where it sounds weird. Let's add some guitar rig to spice it up a bit. And I'm gonna input source as bass. Let's make it clean. I like LA Beauty. Let's stick with that. And I need to fix the quantizing on these. So I'm gonna actually move it back a little bit. And that pretty much fixed it. I'm gonna put a sound godizer. Just a little bit to make it a little nicer. And I think this electric piano needs something. Let's put a vintage chorus on it. Okay, I like that. And yep, I have 38 minutes. Okay, I'm gonna add some drums, so let's go back into Contact. Alright, so I've got Studio Drummer set up here, and I'm just gonna add another pattern. And yeah, that's kind of out of time. Let's fix that. I'm gonna quantize everything to triplets. You know what, last minute change, I already have these drums written out, but I'm gonna actually use FPC because it sounds fine, and it has a jazz kit, and I can map things to things in FL Studio really easily. Here's a jazz kit. This won't take long to change over. Alright, so now this is just a kick drum here, and I'm gonna probably... So I put a saturator on here with the bass preset. Actually, I'm gonna put... And I'm gonna send actually everything through a drum bus with some reverb. High pass on the cymbals. I'm going to add a transient processor to the kick drum. Do a similar thing for the snare here. It also needs a high pass, so I'm going to add that. And let's add a transient processor. I'm also going to add a limiter to it, or well, compressor. It's called limiter, but it has a compressor built in, so I use that. So this is pretty different from what I normally make, but I think it'll work. And I think what I'm going to do for the next part, I'm going to make a copy and I'm going to transpose it. A classic trick that I like to use in order to extend it. So let's see where this is ending. On like a B major 7. So I want to go to like... That kick really needs more. I'm going to add something else to it. I think what I'm going to do is actually high pass the kick drum. That's so much better. That's already so much better. Alright, so I have about 22 minutes left, so let's see here. I'm going to add like some synth strings and decks. Let's see here. I like going to Bobby Blues himself midway. Let's just sequence in these chords. That'll make my life a little bit easier instead of trying to play it. So I usually try to keep the same number of notes per chord. And I try to keep out like octaves like this, repeated notes. So let's see what I can do instead. Yeah, that works. And I try to not have the same chord playing again, even though it's similar. Like, the note positions are not always exactly the same. I'm gonna add some EQ. And I think it could use, let's try vintage chorus. Yeah, it works. And I'm gonna add some reverb to it. Let's see here. I want something kind of dreamy. That works. I think a delay would be good to have. That's good. Let's see if I can't add some side chaining. I know I kind of stopped with labeling things. Yeah, that happens. I really think it only needs side chaining on the bass. It doesn't really need much on this kind of style. Let's see what else we can add here. I'm hearing like a melody in the bells, like ba-da-da-da-da, or something like that. Let's add a bell. Yeah, a lot of these are ugly. You gotta dig through and find the right one. Yeah, that works. I'm gonna add a bunch of reverb to it later. And I'm just gonna take what I recorded and quantize it again to triplets. And I'm just gonna copy and paste this. Yeah, I'm just kind of writing what like first comes to my head in terms of what will fit in a melody, copy and pasting things around, changing the notes. That's really all I have time to do. And I'm gonna add an EQ to it. This is what I usually do with bells. Like I add a high pass, then I'll add some reverb. And I mostly just keep the default. I turn dampening down to 0. I turn off the low cut. I'm actually gonna have the EQ after the reverb. That's a bit awkward. So basically it's just like hearing melody. Anything that I think is awkward, I try to shift around. It's better. And I'm gonna add... It might actually be too much on the upper end here. I do want to add some kind of reverse cymbal. I usually use this one. This one's pretty good. Let's put it on channel 11. I'm gonna pitch it down. Then I add a fade in, lower the volume a bit, and try to align it. So I zoom in, I hold Alt. There we go. It's a bit weird right now, but I'm gonna add a bunch of delay, or not, well, yeah, sure, delay. And I'll add reverb. Yeah, I don't really like the way that it ends there. I think it'll probably be fixed if I add a high pass. I'm actually gonna end this around here, and I'm gonna just add a fade out. There we go. And I have about 7 minutes, which means I have 37 minutes because there's no late penalty. I don't really know where to go with it though. I could add like a B section. So I'm gonna change around these chords and let's see what happens. I think I'm probably just going to end it there after this because I really don't know what else to do here. And I kind of want to add some other layers to it. I do have some time, about 34 minutes. I'm just going to start calling it that now, I guess. Alright, so I've also just added a crash cymbal to this part because I feel like it needed it. And I'm going to put some more reverb on it because the sample is really short. I want a big crash. I know it's not really realistic, but it's cool. add a new melody here. Alright, so I've added in some vibrato with M vibrato and some reverb and high pass. Yeah, you know, like always. I kind of have a formula for these things. I do think it could use some chorus though. That would be nice. Let's go for the vintage again. I think I'm actually going to do like a little fade out. So I'm going to continue extending that. I'll do a fade out here.